Morning, friends. Coach Ernie here, and this is the Zero DTE Morning Market Analysis. Today is Monday, December 23rd. Notice I didn't have to look at my screen, and I got the date right. That is because I am turning over a new leaf. We'll see how that works out. This morning market analysis, like every other, we're here to figure out what's coming for the day and how we're going to approach our trades by understanding our directional bias, how to right size our trade, and where are the setup opportunities by looking at the market structure. Those are the three primary things that we do every single morning, and that orientates us right. Like every other video, I also try to add a little focus, something else. Because, just doing the market analysis, while it's so essential, it is still a little dry and doesn't always give a good reason to watch the video, unless you're a trader. So today I want to focus on the secret to building wealth, or the secret to wealth. And I'm sure everybody, the conventional thing is you work hard, you have lots of discipline, and you just keep on going, and you stack those Benjamins, right? And that is somewhat true. But doing that and getting to the discipline part and doing that consistency thing is all part of it, because you want to eventually compound. But I'm going to tell you that there is another part to it. The ability to do that consistency and compound over time takes more than just discipline. And that's really where the secret is, and where a lot of people fall short in understanding what it is that they need to do in order to build that wealth. And it's not terribly exciting or eye-opening, but a lot of people shy away from this part because learning the skills and the strategy and the methods and the things that you need to do in order to get to where you want to go and build that wealth over time, compound your results. Those skills and strategies and all that, that's actually the easy part. The hard part, which is where the consistency comes in and staying with it, is the mental toughness that you need to develop alongside of those skills. I like to think of it as sort of the yin and yang of, it's the duality of building wealth. Sure, the skills and the strategy and the knowledge, super important. But unless you're able to say yes or push the button or do the right thing when it needs to be done, and do it on a consistent basis, even when everything is against you and the world is coming down on you and you just don't feel it that day or whatever, you still have to do it. And that takes mental toughness. And so I wanted to say this only because that is where virtually everybody falls down. Everybody. They don't have the temerity, the courage, the mental toughness. And it's a skill just like everything else. You need to develop it. In fact, there is a part of the brain that is principal in helping us make those hard decisions. I think it's called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. And I've talked about this a great deal in my coaching service, and we have special exercises that we do to help us build that mental toughness. And in fact, the Skool community that I've created, that is officially launching at the beginning of the year, but you can get early access to it, does have an entire class, I guess the way they call it in school, a classroom devoted to developing your mental toughness. And I've had many members that have gone through this program that have achieved life-changing results, totally transformed their body, their mind, their spirit, their ability to make money. That is the secret. It is the duality or the yin-yang of the soft side and the hard side of anything that you do. Develop the skills and the process and the methods, but then also develop the mental toughness to actually put it into action, and put it into action no matter what. That is the secret to building wealth. It has been my secret. It has served me well. It took me a long time to figure it out, that you needed to be that person that never gives up, that pushes the button when it has to, that does the right thing when everybody else isn't looking, right? So thought I'd leave you with that message and tell you that all of this is included in our Skool community, and fantastic value for $35 a month. Go check it out. The link is down below. All right, let's get to what we're here for, and that is to figure out what we're going to do today and why. By the way, today is a big ass fly day. We love big ass flies. And so what we're going to do now is go to the charts. There we go. Wrong chart. Here we are. Volatility is up a little bit this morning, up to 18.5. Yesterday, it was, when the market opened last night, it was down near 17 again. But in any event, if we bring that over, we can see the range of widths that we're looking at today for our out-of-the-money butterflies, 20 to 30 wide. We need to figure out, well, what side of that range are we on? Are we on the narrow side or the wide side? And we do that by looking at the big-ass fly. The big-ass fly is kind of like using a straddle to figure out expected move. But it tells us so much more about how the market is pricing options that day. And it also doubles not only as an indicator for us, but also as a potential trade. So let's take a look at the big ass fly and see where we are. And we do that by going to Thinkorswim. I have one set up already. Here it is. The big ass fly is nothing more than a 50 wide at the money butterfly, using either the SPX or the ES. I'm showing the ES because you can't look at the SPX in the morning with Thinkorswim for some reason. However, you could look at the SPX as well if your charts showed it. And what we're really interested in is the debit. If the debit is below 25, which would effectively make this a one-to-one risk-to-reward trade. But more importantly, it will create the kind of gamma risk that we're looking for and the amount of potential profit that we have in there. So that is going to play into when we get that volatility crush in the early morning, a quick increase in the value of this fly. And that's why we're so into the big-ass fly. Now, there are two opportunities to make money on the big-ass fly. And again, this is where courage and temerity and mental toughness come in. You got to do this every morning. Watch it, all right? We put this on early in the morning before economic reports come out. Now, this week there aren't too many economic reports because Wednesday is Christmas. Tomorrow is a half day of trading. However, it is still on for today. We have a debit below 25. It's currently sitting at 22.2. All right, well, okay, that's the big-ass fly part, but now let's take the part where we use it as an indicator and go back to our VIX chart. And we can see that based on the big-ass fly. See, it's all color-coded for the widths right here, for the blue, the yellow, the gold, and the red. You come up here to this here. Here's our big-ass fly scale. That's the debit scale. And we're at 22, which is right in the middle. All right, so that's saying that we should be in the mid part of that range, that 20, 25, 30. So that means our flies, our out-of-the-money flies, if we're going to do them, are probably optimized at a 25 wide fly. All right, and the big-ass fly is on, so we're going to put that on this morning as well. All right, so now we have our width, we have our... Oh, we have to get our orientation, so you have to know which market, where the market's going. You know, just our bias, bullish or bearish. And for me, it's below the moving average, and the moving average is sloping down. So the trend, as far as I'm concerned, is still moving down, even though we had that fantastic day. I think if we look at the ES right now, you'll see that it hasn't made a tremendous move up, but it's a little bit up from Friday. but it is definitely still pointing down. So therefore, we're going to be putting on put flies below the market, and they're going to be about 25 wide on the ES and the SPX. On the XSP, if you're trading really small, that would equate to a 3 wide. All right. If you're trading the NDX or the NQ, they're about 3.5 times the size of the SPX and the E mini S&P futures. So the NQ or the NDX, if we're doing 25 wide, then we're looking at 75 to 100 wide. We always go in increments of 25. Very important. So the NASDAQ is also in play today. All right. So we know a lot of stuff. Now we need to figure out when we're going to be taking this trade or where we're going to be taking this trade. Because we're in a downtrend, we're looking for a pull up into a structural level, and then once we're convinced that it has found resistance there, we'll take that trade. So here's an example. If the market opens up, you can see I've blocked off 9:30 to 12:30. That's our morning session. That's our opportunity. And then the event would be if it pulls up into a structural level, which has all been determined by our analysis of the volume profile, and we'll go over that in great detail in the Skool community and in many other places. If you want to learn about it, just search for volume profile in my YouTube channel search, and you'll find hundreds of videos on volume profile analysis and the methodology that we use. But anyways, we reveal market structure. We're waiting for a move up into this and then to move down. So if it moves here or here, it doesn't matter. We'll then put on an out-of-the-money fly somewhere below it based on our criteria, which is an out-of-the-money fly. It's 25 wide with a risk to reward somewhere around 1 to 10. So that means that we'll put a fly down here somewhere like this and then look for a price to move down into it. And of course, we have the big ass fly to look at also this morning, so potentially 2 trades. Just make sure that if you have 2 trades on, that the combination of the 2 trades and the risk that you're taking on is still below your total max risk. That's a super important thing, and that does take mental toughness to stick to that ideal. We want to always make sure that we're not putting on too much risk that to handle. All right, so back to the big head. All right, there you go. We've established our market situational analysis. We know what we're trading, and we talked a little bit about how to build wealth, how to become wealthy, and that is recognizing that it's a duality. Yeah, you got to learn the skills. You have to iterate over those, develop all the right processes and continuous improvement process. But most importantly, you need to make the right decisions when they need to be made. Even if you're just not feeling it, you got to do it. That is mental toughness. And you can learn how to do that in our Skool community. Join now, $35 a month. At the beginning of this year, it's going to be sort of like the grand opening, all the hula. And we expect it to fill up very quickly. So anyways, I think this is going to be the last time that I talk to you until Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody. We'll see you on the other side. I hope Santa's good to you. And take care. Have a good one. Coach Ernie out.